You're looking at him. You're looking at the next Saturn man, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of these guys we're dropping on the Saturn man list right now are big name players. That's the nature of it. We're kind of buttoning down who are the big dogs we're counting on inside the top 15. Not everybody's going to play ball in 2024. We're here to sift through the big dogs. Once we get through the next maybe Saturn man, maybe next Moon man or two, we'll be digging into the weeds and finding the next unknown players, or maybe even like Tank Dell was very unknown, maybe even middle range type of value, but players we think are going to explode. We're going to get through it all. The Fantasy Football Show, Bijan Robinson, christening into the Saturn man list right now. It begins this very second, so file on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday,
8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the newest addition to the Saturn men. Let's hit the button and do it live.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
There he is. Look at him. Look at him.
Spaceman.
Now, you guys might be sitting here going, Smitty, why in the hell are you wearing a Kyren Williams shirt right now during... You could wear the Bijan running back one if you wanted. I needed to come in and represent Kyren Williams today because the shirt came in number one, and I just wanted to wear it. But Kyren Williams is also a Saturn man, as is Bijan, as is
the Saturn men.
Brees Hall.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman.
Now, JD5 is the big surprise on that list, and I can't be more excited about what this kid's going to bring. I think JD5 becomes the next Lamar Jackson. Bijan Robinson is Saturn man extraordinaire number cuatro. And you can come in and sling hate if you want. I don't think we'll see much of it in this live stream because we are a freaking Bijan community. But Arthur Smith is gone. The question will be which head coach ends up landing in this situation. Here's the coaching tracker, if you will. We'll be keeping tabs on this the entire offseason. The Chargers probably the most, I think, attractive landing spot. Vrabel shouldn't have ever been fired. Tennessee, they're idiots for thinking this guy's the problem instead of all the other things going on. He's an attractive landing piece for one of these teams that needs a commander-in-chief. Munkin would be a fantastic fit. He's got a great resume, did amazing things with Lamar Jackson. I love Munkin in Atlanta. Harbaugh, where's Harbaugh going to go? He's coming to the NFL. I think that's pretty evident, but you never know. A lot of things can change just with one conversation with a family member, so we'll find out. But Harbaugh, most likely going to be a Charger. And as we've kind of hinted and talked about, there are a lot of things that could happen in that situation that would make amazing sense. We've definitely kicked around the idea of, well, what if they draft Corum? What if they go get an RB? Corum makes sense in that situation, whereas Corum somewhere else, it depends where he goes. His fit needs to be perfect. He's a unique size player that lacks some things, but in the right spot would be amazing. I think he obviously would be paired up with Harbaugh. Everybody's kind of whispering that would be an amazing pairing to go in a Los Angeles Chargers situation. Atlanta Falcons getting Vrabel, getting Munkin, getting even Ben Johnson from Detroit, or obviously Harbaugh, but I don't think he's going there. That's what we need in Atlanta for Bijan Robinson. We don't need the hoodie. I don't want anything to do with the hoodie in Atlanta so he can destroy Bijan like he did Ramondre Stevenson. Does anybody out there think Ramondre isn't an absolute monster still? I think maybe he's ruined. We don't fully know what Ramondre is capable of anymore. If the hoodie's gone if he does end up leaving, I mean, I don't know if Ramondre rebounds, if the new coach is going to be like, let's get Ramondre back firing on all cylinders. I don't know. But these are the top coaching candidates to potentially land in all these situations. I love Munkin. I love Vrabel. I obviously love Harbaugh, but that's probably not happening. Ben Johnson would be pretty solid. Kellen Moore is potentially interviewing as the head coach for the Chargers. They're kind of dotting their I's and crossing their T's, or dotting their T's and crossing their I's, if you will, on that one, because they will take a look at Harbaugh. Harbaugh would be crazy not to go to this situation and get handed Justin Herbert and be able to mold and sculpt this man into an absolute phenom. So we will be 100% back to the Saturn man extraordinaire, Bijan Robinson, who in all reality had a really good year, considering he got held back. He had one arm tied behind his back and handcuffs on at the same time on his feet. His feet were duct taped together, essentially, and he still rumbled for 1,463 yards and 8 touchdowns on 58 receptions, 86 targets. That 86 targets is an insane amount of targets, and obviously he needed to have more accurate footballs thrown his direction. This guy should have had 70 receptions. He should have had 70 receptions. He should have had 12 to 15 touchdowns. He should have had 1,200 yards on the ground and probably something along the lines of 600, 700 receiving yards. If Bijan Robinson can have 1,463 and 8 tutties and 58 receptions in one of the worst scenarios we could have ever dreamed up and couldn't see coming, because this man, Arthur Smith, who's now fired and gone, and as you noticed, I didn't put Arthur Smith on my coaching carousel at all because this man's garbage, and if he does land anywhere as an OC, that team is dead to me. Arthur Smith's gone. He misused this man. They'd be on the goal line, and he'd run Cordero Patterson or Algier. The pecking order was clear. This man's a backup, according to a guy like Arthur Smith. And in fact, on the bold prediction board, we had one of the best bold predictions. I'm going to show these later. We're going to go through as a community and vote upon the winner. But I kind of feel like the winner, in my mind, glancing at this thing, has already been decided. In my mind, Aloha dropped one of the craziest predictions that he put a $50 hauler on the board for. He said Bijan Robinson will be a backup. Bijan Robinson was a backup. He was misused. Absolutely misused. But that's in the past. And if anybody wants to come here and sling hate around on Bijan, it's not going to penetrate this armor, because this armor is all about Bijan Robinson in 2024. And he's coming for everyone. And if he can be this good right here, 1,463 and 8 tutties, without even being, no attention's even being paid to him. He's a backup. He might in some cases be the third string player anywhere near the goal line. In week number 18, when this man, Bijan Robinson, happened to pull in 100 plus receiving yards and a touchdown, and was given 11 carries for 28 yards? Had this man been used properly in week 18 alone, he would have had 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, another 50, 60 yards rushing, handful more receptions, 2 more touchdowns. He would have finished the year just on week 18 alone if he was used right in the final week of football, when 2 touchdowns were clearly in his grasp. One was a throw that was completely behind him when he was running a route, and Ritter's so bad. Threw the football behind him. Horrible play. Horrible pass. It was god-awful. Bijan, if he would have scored the 2 touchdowns, would have finished with 8 touchdowns. Would have easily had a 1050 on the ground. 1050, 10 touchdowns. 500 receiving yards. Would have been a pretty damn good season at the end of the day. This guy lingered in that 8 to 12 for running backs, and they used him like a backup. I think a lot of people are going to be on board. I think there are going to be a ton of people that love this man. A ton of people. But I think, let's see here. I made the draft. Best ball going the opposite way of Smitty. Okay, if you want to go the opposite way of Smitty, then you can go the opposite way of Smitty. There's that direction there. You're going to come in and try and hate and be this, oh, I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to come here, tell the whole chat that Smitty doesn't have the right direction. I've got the right direction. Well, then take your direction elsewhere. Okay, there you go. That way. Congratulations. There. You just paved your own path that direction. Go have fun. Got to come into a live stream when we're pumped up. We're talking this man up. This guy's going to come in and say, yeah, don't go in this direction. Go the opposite way of Smitty. But I love him. I still love Smitty, but I'm going to go the opposite direction of what Smitty does. There it is. The door's that way. That's the opposite direction. You're going the wrong direction. If you want to go the opposite direction, that direction's that way. And I just pointed you toward it. See you later. Bijan Robinson is going to absolutely explode in 2024. Bijan Robinson, if he can get 1463 and 8 tutties as a backup and 58 receptions, my guess is this man's going to breach 1,800 to 2,000 total yards. As long as he has the right commander-in-chief in place, that could be, like if they bring Bill Belichick to Atlanta, we're going to have some problems. You know, and we'll have to address it as time comes, but I mean, good God. Congratulations to everybody that was able to relish and enjoy the experience of Arthur Smith being removed from this situation. Congratulations to anybody that kept the course and owns him in Dynasty. Congratulations to all you prospective 2024 Bijan drafters, because it's going to happen. It's coming in hot. This man's a Saturn man. Congratulations to all of you. Let's do it live. Saturn man extraordinaire. Do it live.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman.
All right, let the haters hate. Let the people dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Your boy's here to guide you through your Dynasty questions. Everybody drop a Bijan Robinson emoji. Everybody drop a Saturn emoji. And let's do it live. Let's do it live. Phone lines are open. Dial on in. Okay. Super chats are also here. Red says Smitty is him. Thank you, Red. Appreciate you. If you want to dial in, I know you love to dial in when the phone line opens. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. G Money dropping a $20 holler. That's my boy, Blue. That's my boy, Blue. Where's my $20 holler button? I moved a few things around here.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That's my boy. That's my boy. G-Money says, here's an interesting thought. Deion goes to Atlanta to coach, and they draft his son at QB, and he gets to work. That would be in a year from now when Deion's son is going to enter the NFL draft, is what I think you mean there, G-Money. But, yeah, that would be interesting a year from now. It'll probably never happen because the likes... Look, here's the thing that I would say, G-Money. I'm hopeful that the coach they bring in this year, one of these guys right here, one of these bad boys right here, is the answer. And so we have no desire or need for another coach to come in. The last thing I want is another coach needed. So hopefully everything gets solved this offseason, but that would be an interesting twist and turn. But I want Bijan to thrive in 2024. We want Vrabel. We want Munkin. We want something along those lines. Now Munkin does use multiple running backs at times, but I don't think he would do that with Bijan. I guess you could say, hey, Smitty, if there's a red flag here, you know, we would want to avoid, I think, coaches that feel the need to go with multiple backs historically. But at the same time, this is Bijan Robinson. And I know we just witnessed a guy misuse him, so it's capable of happening. But I still love Munkin as an option. Thank you, G Money, for dropping that $20 hauler. G Money dropped another one. Says Dion like snap. Yeah, appreciate you, G Money, dropping the super chats, pal. You okay, Smitty? You're scaring me. I don't know why in the hell I'd be scaring you, Ron. We're in here celebrating a man known as Bijan Robinson, and everything is glory at this moment in time. Rock out. Appreciate you. Thanks for the super chat anyway, Ron, but I'm completely fine. Do I not look fine, Ron? Do I look like I'm worked up in a positive fashion? Absolutely. Rock out. You're live. Then Rob. If Rob, you can mute real quick. Rock out. You're live. You are.
Oh, yeah. I'll mute.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Rock out. Hit me.
Yeah, we think about Ben Johnson. He obviously knew how to use Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could say, oh, does he use two backs? But I mean, look, the way that Gibbs is used is amazing. You know, like if anybody's going to say, hey, Smitty, you worried about the way Ben Johnson's using his running stable? No, I'm not. So I like Ben Johnson a lot. Raheem Morris, I mean, Raheem Morris is fantastic. That's an option. That's a great option.
Yep.
McDonald or Munkin. You know, these are both good options. Harbaugh, I don't think goes to Atlanta. I don't think that's even going to be. You never know, but I don't think that will be a location. I think he wants a signal caller, unless he wants to bring in a signal caller. You know what I mean? Like, what if Harbaugh wants to draft McCarthy? You know, what if Harbaugh wants to draft McCarthy and bring in, you know, hopefully not quorum there. that would be awful. Oh man, I won't be able to handle it. If the Falcons bring somebody in and they draft a running back, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I think you'd have to be a complete. Like, my interview question would be if I was Arthur Blank. Now, granted, Arthur Blank might not know what time it is or what day it is, so maybe this is the problem. But my interview question would be like, I'd have like 5 index cards, and I'd like show them a card, and I'd say, who's this? And it'd be a picture of Bijan. Like, Bijan Robinson. Okay. Who's your starting running back? Bijan Robinson. I got 2 questions for you. One running back is going to get 240 carries. One running back's getting 130. Here's a card of Bijan. Here's a card of Algier. Which one do you choose? I would make it so simplistic. If he answers anything that isn't give Bijan 240 carries or 225 carries and 70 receptions, you're out. You're out of the interview process.
You're done.
All right, what else can I do for you, bro?
That's it right now.
Let's go over to hang tight right there. Rob, what can I do for you? You're live.
Hey, Smitty, man. First thing is I want to thank you because all this frustration that's coming at you about Arthur and it's being relieved, it's like helping relieve me of all my upsetness with Arthur Smith and the disservice he's done to our boy from the beginning. I mean, I called you months ago talking about how I traded like a boatload. I traded away Chase and Bird and Bijan and a future pick. And you're telling me, well, I probably got fleeced unless I can land Marvin. And I landed Marvin. And now Bijan is free. As long as Marvin escapes, he dodges, Arthur or any sort of Patriots nonsense, dodges Bill, and Bijan dodges Bill. I couldn't be more excited for that.
Yeah, we really do. There are a couple of spots for Marvin Harrison Jr. that we don't want. I think we definitely New England's the worst landing spot I can imagine. Tennessee would be awful, in my opinion. It'd be absolutely awful. I don't love Levis. I don't like him at all. The Giants would be not good. I think they're going after. I don't know. I think they're going to go after a quarterback. I don't know what's going to happen there. That wouldn't be a great spot if they didn't bring in a signal caller. But so that's a lot of spots though. That's inside the top 8. This is locked in. This is locked in up to pick number 18. This is absolutely locked in now, up to 18, up into the playoff teams. So from Pittsburgh down to San Francisco, that's going to move around. But I mean,
I feel like the Chargers is the dream spot there.
Yeah,
Like, that seems like a stretch, but that would be incredible.
yeah, you're gonna hear me beat a drum and beat a dead horse on the topic of the Chargers need to get Marvin Harrison Jr. or Neighbors. They take Neighbors, I'm fine with that too. But they need Marvin Harrison. Let's say Marvin Harrison went 2 or 3, and the Chargers are like, damn, let's go Neighbors. Do it. Don't worry about Mike Williams. Don't worry about the old man Keenan Allen, who could have another good year. He really could, but it's probably going to be injury plagued. Like he'll be like Cooper Kupp. Amazing when he's on the field, but he plays 7 games or 8 games. You have to move on from that. You can't think you'll be okay at wide receiver. You can't do it. You got to go get that big name player. And that would be how you fix Herbert's situation. You also need to get an RB in, and there are several RBs that are available to be had. Here's the RB landscape, the free agent running backs for 2024. You've got Barkley. You've got Eckler going elsewhere. You've got Henry. Now, you could go young at the wide receiver position and then bring in Henry for 1 year. Like, I wouldn't be crazy. You could bring in Jacobs. You could bring in Pollard, depending on how Pollard finishes. He looked really decent finally in his last contest. Let's hope that kind of matriculates into the postseason. Swift is potentially available. There's these guys right here, these mid-range guys, Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Singletary look pretty good, but I don't know that he'd be, he's great right now, but I don't know how that's going to translate into next year. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I wonder if Clyde goes to Cincinnati and reunites with Joe Burrow. That would be very interesting and see how that unfolds. AJ Dillon, I don't know that I trust him, but these are your free agent running backs. Your free agent wide receivers are not a huge list, but there are some decent names on here. This doesn't feel like the best free agent pool of players that we've had in, any time in recent memory. Evans is older. Higgins is injury prone. Ridley is older, and he has let us down. Before he's walked away from the game, he's made stupid decisions, and he's been in a horrible kind of spotty situation where they misused him when there was injuries to this wide receiver room, and they forced this man to run go routes the entire first half of the season. They didn't throw to him at all, or when they threw to him, they were inaccurate footballs and unable to pull anything in. He looked really good at the end of the year. I really liked what Ridley was doing. What Ridley did at the end of the year is what we expected out of him the entire season. Michael Pittman Jr., where's he end up? These are your top wide receiver free agents. So there are some players that you could pull in if you didn't go after Marvin or Neighbors, but I think that's the move. I don't know why. I don't know what. I know there's a lot of holes, but I don't know what would be more impacting to make Herbert develop. Your entire goal as a new head coach, or if you're this organization saying we've got to fix things, is make Herbert succeed. You have to make Herbert succeed. And part of that would be to block for him, sure. And you can do that in the second and third rounds. I'm not as big a proponent of using a top 10 pick on an offensive lineman all the time. Sometimes the guy comes around once in a while where you need to grab him. But I think you could still coach it up and repair this line in a certain way. And there's nothing better. And I said this to Hugh Jackson, who came on my show, former Browns coach, and he a college coach right now. And he came on my show.
Raiders too.
Yeah, he came on my show, and I told him that drafting Jamar Chase, in my opinion, I didn't want to tell him what to do or what. I was polite about it. I said, hey, in my opinion, drafting Jamar Chase does more for Joe Burrow and protecting Joe Burrow than drafting Penny Sewell. And he goes, no. And he just lost it. And he was a little bit disrespectful to my take. It wasn't like, oh, interesting take, Smitty, I disagree. He was like, no. He's like, you're telling me that drafting a wide receiver protects Joe Burrow better than drafting Penny Sewell? And I said, yes, coach, I do believe it will. I believe you can coach that up. I believe you can figure out a way to repair the offensive line. Look what the KC Chiefs did in 1 year. They paid Mahomes this 10-year Massive contract, and people said the Chiefs will never build another offensive line ever again. They did it within a year. You can do this through coaching, second-round picks, third-round picks. You don't have to do everything through the first round. And what did Jamar Chase do? Exactly what I said he'd do. Stretch the field, immediately improves the offensive line. Quick release, Aaron Rodgers throwing missiles, quick release, first reads. Defense respecting Aaron Rodgers will help fix a lot of the Jets' offensive line problems in 2024. Everybody thinks the Jets need to do a whole makeover. Like, look, they're the horrible offensive line. It's not that. There's so much that changes by having a quick signal caller in there. Like, stepping onto the field, Aaron Rodgers will improve the offensive line immediately. Instantly. And the same thing can be said. It's a degree of separation. It's not a direct relationship, but Chase stretching the field absolutely helped keep Burrow upright. You know, everybody would do those little drawings, those little pencil drawings that say Penny Sewell, okay, Joe Burrow, and the football would sling over. There's like a pencil drawing, and Higgins would catch it. And then people would do a drawing of Jamar Chase, Higgins, no Sewell, and Joe Burrow on his back, and the ball would land and fall in place. That was what everybody's example is. You got to take Sewell. You got to take Sewell. Anyway, my same I forget what it was. What was I even saying? Oh, Chargers. Yeah. So for me, I know that there's some other holes, and there's some definite advantages of taking a lineman, doing whatever you want to do with this pick, but I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm taking a difference maker. I'm taking somebody that can create and turn this situation into a he's a top 4 quarterback. Like that's what everybody's expectation was. In the offseason, I didn't have him in the top 5, and it didn't go over all that well in the audience. You know, there's probably one of the most pushback conversation pieces we had, where it's like, Smitty, how do you know? Now, granted, I had T Law high, and he definitely, I love and T Law higher than I think most people, you know, were comfortable with, and Love worked out. T Law didn't. So, you know, there's one hit and one miss there. But I did not have Herbert in my top 4 or 5, and it pissed a lot of people off. But it's because I didn't feel good about this situation, and obviously it was a horrible situation. They need to do something drastic. They need to give this man a weapon like Marvin Harrison Jr., and Herbert's future changes immediately. What else you got? Rob, hold on one second. Let me go over to Red. Red, you're live.
I think so.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, Rob left. All right, Rob. I appreciate you, Rob. What's up, Red?
Not a lot, brother. How you doing?
What did Rob even ask me? I forget now.
I don't even know.
Yeah, told him the whole.
It's kind of cool, man. One of my ideas made the show, bro. It's kind of cool.
One of your ideas?
Yeah, the Todd Monken idea. I said that going to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the top options. All these coaches are. I had to put together a board for it. I hadn't had it all up yet, but yeah, Vrabel, Harbaugh, Monken, McDonald. I mean, these are all the top guys. Even I threw Moore in last second because Moore's interviewing for the Chargers head coaching job, but he might get calls from other teams, so he needs to be in this mix too. But no, these are. I mean, Monken's for sure in the top 4 or 5 consideration. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I was talking my ass yesterday. I was like, he seems like a good idea.
No, he's been mentioned. He's been mentioned all over the place. Monken's. Monken. I mean, bro. Anytime look at Wilkes. Look at Wilkes, the defensive coordinator for the Niners. A job on the line, on a short leash. Everyone's saying get rid of him. The Niners fan bases, we need to get rid of Wilkes. This is about midseason. Get rid of Wilkes. He's garbage. He's ruining the defense. And they bring him from the box and tell him to coach down on the field, and then things start turning around. I don't know that it fully has to do with that, but start turning around everything that that they'd been doing backwards in San Francisco. Turn the defense around. Obviously, they made a trade. They made an amazing trade. That did not hurt the defensive situation. And now Wilkes is getting tossed around as potential head coaching, interview opportunities. Like, so I mean, Lamar is having tremendous success in Todd Monken's system, and so you bet your bottom dollar that a team, especially if they take it the distance, bro, and they even show in the Super Bowl, Monken's getting a head coaching job. Like, that's just the nature of, if the Detroit Lions win the wild card round and advance, let's say 2 games or something, then Ben Johnson's gone. That's just the nature of the NFL. Yeah. So Monken was absolutely in the top 5, especially if they finish strong. Monken will be 100% in the conversation. Not to mention, so will McDonald.
Yeah. Well, the reason I said it was just because of the play call style. And if they could get, if they could get Justin Fields or a more mobile quarterback, that'd be the perfect play caller for him, honestly. But I was reading it today that did somebody throw some Kirby Smart, they called him about the job. I said, there's no way he's not leaving Georgia. That's like Saban in Alabama, Kirby will probably retire from Georgia.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, yeah. I don't disagree with you. I'm rooting for the Chargers to pick Bowers. Bowers is a potential generational tight end, so that would also be a good draft selection. I could get behind that, especially if you do bring in like a Ridley or a Higgins or something like that. Or let's say you brought in. I'm not saying I love Henry. I don't think Henry stays healthy. He's 30 years old, but if you did bring him in, and you piece together this running stable, and then you drafted Bowers, and then you ride one more year with the Henry, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, but you have Bowers there, and then the next year you can bring in another wide receiver or whatever. I could get behind that, but I think the smartest path for the Chargers would 100% be take the generational talent Marvin Harrison Jr. That just like every team should have taken Adrian Peterson the year he came out. Just like every team that was even remotely in need of an RB should have taken Bijan, which we don't look like geniuses yet, but that's what 2024 is here for, to save the day on that one. Could Chicago give Fields plus the 9 more for Washington's New England pick? What are you doing there, Red? You doing push-ups or something?
My dog is
okay.
He's in his crate.
Okay. Could Chicago give Fields plus the 9? What is this question here? Could Chicago give Fields plus the 9 for Washington New England pick? Oh, I gotcha. You're wanting the 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, bro, look, Fields. Yeah, this is what I've said before, that if they were to go trade Fields away, that they should try and move this 9 pick to 2, which would be pretty easy just by giving up Fields. Like Fields to Washington, and then you swap these picks. I mean, that would be, and you might even be able to get maybe the keep the 9 pick. I mean, or give a second rounder, and so you get the 2 pick, you give up Fields, maybe you give up some seconds, or maybe you give up something else so that you can keep this 9 pick, and then you draft Caleb or whoever your top quarterback is, and then you draft Marvin Harrison Jr. That's one. We've gone over that in a live stream. If someone said, if you were in charge and you were the decision maker in Chicago, what would you do? If it wasn't keeping Fields, it would be to have Marvin Harrison and JD or Caleb or Penix Jr. or one of the big quarterbacks. May, I don't hate May. I just don't know that May's 1 or 2 overall worthy. I don't hate JJ McCarthy, but he's not 1 or 2 overall worthy. I know everyone thinks I'm jumping off the Penix Jr. wagon. I'm not. Let me just let everybody know right now. Anybody thinking, oh, that didn't work out, Smitty, Penix Jr. is garbage. You didn't watch college football. If you think one game defines Penix Jr., you didn't watch college football. You came in and watched the Natty, which is fine. Not everybody has time to watch college football all year. I get it. I'm not judging anybody. But if anybody thinks that I'm off the Penix Jr. train because he had a bad game against the best defense, against a team that made everybody look silly, and they had no answers for him when Penix Jr. has been accurate and lights out all season long, Red, if you want to come back on, you can come back on. I see that you just bailed. Rock out. What can I do for you? What else you got? I like May a little bit. I do. I just don't know these one or two. Like, and anybody thinks I hate Caleb. I don't hate Caleb at all, just because I have a couple other quarterbacks ranked higher. I think Caleb, there's just, I think, more concerns than I think some people let on, but concerns he can overcome. Like, Caleb is a great quarterback. Caleb, this quarterback class is through the roof. Caleb's fantastic. And as I said, the show before the national championship game, landing spot is everything. Caleb could be the number one quarterback without hesitation. May could be the number one quarterback without hesitation. Penix Jr. could be the number one. JD5 could be the number one. Landing spot is 1,000% everything. Just bottom line. Penix panicked with the pass rush. Yeah, Josh, but what about all season long, pal? You just going to throw that out the window because you saw him get rattled, beat up, and destroyed by a Michigan defense? Like, that's how you judge a player's college career? Off of one game in a national championship against the best team? With no help? With players dropping footballs, running extra routes. And I don't know if you heard, but Odunze said that on that wide open route where Penix Jr. overthrew him, Odunze said he ran the wrong route. He was supposed to turn. The ball was exactly where it was supposed to be. Penix has shown amazing accuracy all freaking year. That's what he's known for. Being accurate, throwing amazing dimes, and Odunze admitted that he ran the wrong route. And everybody's out here just Monday morning quarterbacking, blaming Penix Jr. on that play, blaming everything. I still love the guy. Did his value drop? Absolutely. You know, it could have went sky high. But this is just going to be one of those players that occasionally not everybody's going to agree in here. This is not a community where everybody thinks exactly the same. We do have a lot of tendencies to lean in certain directions. That's why people gravitate toward the content in the channel. They like a lot of the takes. They like a lot of the players. A lot of like-minded people can collect together. But there are going to be a lot of people that just judge Penix off one game because they didn't watch college football all year long. And anybody that says he's garbage, he's trash, he's inaccurate, he folds under pressure, he got exposed, I don't blame those people for feeling that way if they only watch the national championship game. But somebody that watches, and you can tell, somebody that watches college football and watched him all year, they're not going to say that. They're going to go, no, he's still good. He does have to find the great spot. I am worried about injury. But, like, to judge Penix Jr. off of one game against the best team of football is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I do like May in the right spot. I do love Caleb in the right spot. I do love Penix in the right spot. Pause. I do love JD5. Almost anywhere. JD5 can go anywhere. Rock out.
Yeah, with Penix's bad performance yesterday, are you moving him down far as the other 5 QBs you had?
Not off talent evaluation, no. Like I do 2 different quarterback ranking kind of breakdowns. One is based on talent, and that's what my previous rankings are. Penix Jr. is the second ranked talent evaluation portion of my stuff for quarterbacks. So he's number 2. That doesn't change. One game doesn't change what I did all off season long in terms of, like, you know, scouting them, watching the film all year long, watching games all year long, then coming in and then forcing myself to sit down for 2 or 3 hours per player, rewatch everything. And then I come away with a ranking, with an ability to say, hey, I do love this guy over this guy. Talent-wise, I think he's better. Now, what the teams do is going to determine so much about their values. Just like, you know, Stroud landed in an amazing spot as the perfect fit. Can't separate situation from player. Stroud's now a top 5 or 6 quarterback. Like, if Penix Jr. was to go to an amazing situation, then he's going to thrive. He's going to thrive. If Penix Jr. went to Atlanta, he's going to thrive. If he went to Chicago, I don't know that I think he could do well there, but I'm worried about Chicago in general. I really do worry about him. The way they mismanaged and misused, and it kind of made Fields look like a fool, you know. And I don't think, you know, Seattle for Penix Jr. would be phenomenal. I think his national championship could have vaulted him into the top 10 overall, like I said before the game. But if he fell flat on his face, like I said before the game, he would not be in the top 10. So he's not. But there's still a lot of people that know a lot about college football that are like, you know, Penix is absolutely amazing. Like this Penix hate. Penix Jr. hate right now is ridiculous. It's laughable. It's absolutely laughable. He's a good he's an amazing quarterback. You know, the injury concerns are big. Like the injury concerns they're there. Like if someone says, I like the talent, I just think he won't stay healthy. That is 100% a valid argument. And there's nothing you can even say to somebody about that. Like that's a total take. That's a take anybody can have, and it makes sense. You know, that is a big concern. He's had 4 season-ending injuries, but he also hasn't had anything in 2 years. And anybody saying last night he was injured again, he was playing, getting smashed into the ground. There's not a single person that would have not been, you know, banged up with all the hits he was taking. And did anybody see him not return to the field? He went out, they checked him out. He's like, I'm going to go play. He kept going out there and gritting it out. Like that showed grit and tenacity and determination and will. Absolutely love him. Absolutely love him.
Yep.
But you know, there's pros and cons to everybody. You know, there's a lot of people that dislike Caleb Williams. You know, there's a lot of reasons people do dislike him. A lot of people worry about some of that stuff, you know, that how that can translate. There's May, who didn't have a big stat line last year, but did the previous year, and a lot of people love this guy on film. May in the right spot could be the Stroud of the draft. Caleb in the right spot could be the Stroud of the draft. This is what my whole point of my top 5 video was to emphasize and hammer down that every single one of these quarterbacks that I ranked down to May, and kind of McCarthy, but not really. McCarthy looks like he looks good, like he's efficient. I like him, but he didn't blow up in that game. He's efficient. He was pretty inaccurate in the second half. Like that was not a great game for. I think that JJ McCarthy's value also went down, just like some would say Penix Jr.'s value went down in this game, or didn't go up. McCarthy's didn't increase because he should have. He won a national championship, but McCarthy's value didn't really increase. He didn't really show anything in this game that makes you feel like, oh, yeah, like if anybody says, oh, well, he commanded. Well, no, he didn't. I mean, this game was won on the ground. This game was won through defense, and which is amazing and great, and they deserve it. And hats off to Michigan. It was fantastic. They just looked like it was old school, gritty defense and running the football, and it was fantastic. But as I said, every single one of these quarterbacks, from Penix Jr. to Caleb to Drake May to JD5, every single one of my top 5, absolutely 100% could be the number 1 quarterback and a top 6 quarterback. Now, we're only going to get 1 or 2 that are going to be top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, because I don't think landing spot's going to be that gracious to us to give us 3 or 4 landing spots that make all these guys absolutely, phenomenal top 10 quarterbacks. There's just no room for that. But could we get 3 really good quarterbacks, 2 of which that are top 10? It's possible. I would say temper expectations and expect 1. Expect 1 6 to 10 quarterback. I give a wide range because there's so many good quarterbacks in the NFL. How do you pull them out? How do you say a rookie, even JD5? How do you say a rookie's number 6 without saying like 6 to 10? That's why I have a big wide range on putting JD5. But JD5,
the Saturn man.
A Saturn man.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
JD5 is, man, where he goes will certainly determine whether he gets moving quickly. I think in today's NFL, you see very few teams draft a quarterback like JD5, like Caleb, like Penix Jr., and not want to start them right away. I think the only scenario that would make, and this would be a scenario that I'd actually very, very much be excited about, is Penix Jr., like I said on my last live stream, going to the Jets. Like, his value didn't increase. It may have even dropped in some people's minds, and he falls and the Jets scoop him up. They have a conversation with Aaron Rodgers. They say, hey, look, we're going to draft a guy. But Rodgers did also make a little bit of, news recently saying he wants this to be more than a 1-year thing with the Jets. And so, hard to know. JD's too small. No, he's not, bro. What are you talking about?
Big.
He's a big boy. What are you talking about? Too small. Derek, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Take a laugh.
Bro, watch this, Jared. Hey, Ziggy. How tall is Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels is 6 feet 4 inches tall.
6 feet. He's too small, Smitty. He's too small. Ziggy, that's enough. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Don't let the chat see that, and then some guy's in here for 4 minutes and he's leaving, sees it, and then leaves and goes, I'm gonna tell everybody I know. JD's small. 6'4", bro. He's 6'4", bro. I mean, come on, bro.
He's too small.
God, you don't think he's going to put on 10, 15 pounds at the end? And watch the film. Look at him. He's not skinny. What are you talking about? He's 6'4", bro.
Wait, what?
6'4" is undersized. Okay, I'm not even reading any more of your comments, bro. It's ridiculous. Okay.
You proved your point.
I don't... Could give... Yeah, so anyway, Jaime, appreciate you dropping the super chat. And, I'm fully anticipating a lot of movement in this draft. I really think Denver and Seattle could be... I don't want to say they're wild cards, but I would say Seattle and Denver, they get into this quarterback game. And I think that's where a team comes in and says, you know what, like Penix Jr., you can doubt him, but we like him. We'll take him. We'll take on this project. We'll do it. Especially if they have like a Geno's still under contract, right? They're not going to get rid of Geno. The cap hit's pretty heavy to do that. So drafting Penix Jr. and then having Geno and having Penix Jr. replace him, that could be, that could be definitely a plan of attack. The Raiders, if Adam stays, that's not horrible. They're playing well. I'd like to see them. I feel like their offense, it concerns me a little bit. It's not super high potent, attack. New Orleans, I somehow, some way, I see Penix Jr. in Seattle or New Orleans. I don't know why. Denver would be interesting. I do think Sean Payton's going to be aggressive. Absolutely aggressive. Yeah, anybody that likes Penix Jr., they want him in Seattle. That's a great spot. That makes Penix Jr. believer smile.
Yep, for real.
Yeah. Anyway, Caleb. Yeah, Caleb is landing spot. It could put him into the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks for fantasy football. It really could. There's concerns with every one of these quarterbacks. Some say JD5 small. 6'5". Detroit, Detroit would be. I'd love to see Detroit grab one of these quarterbacks. I know they like Hendon Hooker, but I mean he's coming back from his ACL tear last year. There's nothing to show for it. It's not like you have any loyalty there. But I think some would say, that he would. Yeah, and if Penix Jr. does fall to round 2, hey man, that means he falls to a team that that might actually flip back around to having the huge QB need. You know, once Penix, the dangerous point for Penix Jr. is once he gets past like Seattle here, you're going through all these teams that don't need a quarterback because these are all playoff teams. You know, so like Tampa Bay, maybe they would look into it, right? Because I don't know if they fully trust Baker Mayfield. But everybody else has a quarterback. You know, they're in the playoffs. They're obviously balling out. They're doing good things. So, you know, Pittsburgh could look at a quarterback, I think, if they fell into the second round. Like, I could see them, you know, in the second round going, wow, Penix Jr. is still here. Let's grab him. I don't think they do it at 19. But every team here has a signal caller, you know, so they're not gonna potentially take Penix Jr. here. So if Penix Jr. doesn't go in the top 16, which at this point it's looking shaky for sure, unless Seattle or New Orleans or Denver puts their balls on the table and says, let's do it live. If he falls here, this is a territory that he's just going to slide through, and then he's going to go into round 2, and then we do the song and dance again for the most part. Teams that have traded their picks in the second. I'll get a second round list up eventually, but then you have to go through this gauntlet of teams that need a quarterback again, and if he slips past them again, then yeah, you could go to the third round. You know, could I see Penix Jr. sitting there in the green room, like upset and getting passed over like Lamar did? And you know, yeah, I could. Doesn't mean he's not a good quarterback. Doesn't mean that my talent assessment on him is wrong. I firmly believe Penix Jr. has got the skill set, and I think people that watch college football would agree. Anybody who watches just national championship games only is going to say, "Oh, he got exposed. He got exposed. He got exposed in one game against Michigan in the national championship game." And you see his overthrow. Dunze said he ran the wrong route. Penix Jr. put the ball where it was supposed to go. And he ran the wrong route. He ran to the wrong spot. He admitted it, and everybody ripping Penix apart. Crazy.
Yeah, I could tell he ran the wrong route. I could tell.
Anyway, Bijan. Let's talk about Bijan. I got my Discord open. I'm looking at my Discord questions. Anybody wants to join the Discord? I got the general chat on my Discord open right here. Anybody wants to jump in, just go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. And at the top right of there, you can see a Discord link. So if you want to jump into that. Falcons, Hector says for Penix Jr., that would be great. As for Bijan, I mean, what are we thinking, bro? Are we thinking how many carries does he have next year? 240? 250? I mean, that's not even that much more than he got. It's maybe he gets 280 or something like that. I mean, it's possible. I don't know if I want him getting the 300s and breaking down, but let's call it 260. How many yards per? Let's say 5 yards per carry. I think he truly would average that if he was used properly and not used in
5.2.
5.2. 5.2. That gives you 1352. This is a Rockout and Smitty coming up with a Bijan projection for 2020. Oh, what was it? 5.2. Wait, let's see. 260 times 5.2 was what? 1352. 1352 yards on the ground, rushing yards.
75 receptions.
How many?
75.
35.
75.
75. Okay. How many rushing touchdowns?
8, 9.
9. I like 9. 9 TDs. Okay, so this is his rushing total. Bijan Robinson, 2024 rushing total projection. Let me put 2024 projection. Okay, so 1352 rushing, 5.2 a carry, 9 touchdowns, 75 receptions. I like it. And what, 650 maybe? 75 receptions, 650 receiving yards, and three or four touchdowns receiving.
5 touchdowns.
5! Let's go 4. We'll go in the middle. 4 TDs. That's Bijan Robinson, according to Rockout and I, kind of spitballing and kind of averaging our two schools of thought together. 1352, 5.2 a carry, 9 touchdowns, 650 receiving. 650 plus 1352 is 2,002 total yards.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
We're doing it.
Pretty darn good.
Ma, get that meatloaf ready. We're celebrating 2,002 yards, Ma. That would be an amazing freaking year, bro. That would be an amazing year. Does anybody think this would be running back 1 right here? It probably would be. It'd be running back 1 or 2.
Yeah, he'd be flirting with it. Yep.
Bijan's first 3,000-yard rusher, says Josh.
Depends how much receptions I'll be getting.
3,000. What would that be? 3,000 divided by 17 would be 3,000 divided by 17 would be 176 yards a game.
To the moon.
We'd have to create another galaxy for Bijan if you had. Yeah, probably not going to happen. But 2,000 total yards, I think, is doable. Rock out, and I just calculated 2,002 total yards, 13 total touchdowns. Look, that's not that crazy. 13 total touchdowns is nothing. Like, he could do that. He could do that in his sleep. I think you could easily say 10, 11 rushing touchdowns and 3 or 4 receiving. I don't see any reason why he can't. In fact, I'm going to change this. I'm going to put 10. I'm going to put 11 rushing touchdowns. Rock out. I'm going to use my executive powers here. I'm going to say 11 total rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns. That puts him at 15. This would be running back 1, I think. At least running back 2 or 3. Like, it depends on what Kyron does, but this is a monster right here. This is a monster in the making. I hope to God we aren't. I mean, we're not. Look, we're getting excited. We're ranking them high. There's no reason. Guys, hit that thumb up button if you could. All it takes is just 1 second. There's 120 to 150 of you popping it out. Hit that thumb up button. There's no. Travis Rosa's 14 rushing touchdowns, 18 total. I love it. 5 to 6 receiving probably seems right, to be honest. Let's do that. Let's tweak this.
I had 5.
All right, let's do 5 to 6 receiving touchdowns. I'll even put 5 to 6. 5 to 6 receiving touchdowns. We'll put 12 rushing touchdowns, and that would give him roughly 17, 18 scores. That would be running back 1. There'd be no hesitation. That would be running back 1.
Yep.
That would be for sure running back 1. Yeah, that's a Saturn man right there. That's a Saturn man, everybody.
The Saturn Men.
1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for Saturn.
Not to give anything away. I mean, if you're in here, you deserve to hear some hidden nuggets and gems. The Saturn man list is going to have a handful of big dogs, which a lot of them I believe we called, so it's not like I feel like in some ways they're deserving to be on the list just based on last year, but we don't want to make a list based on last year. But I'm just saying, quietly, Gibbs is going to be on the list, right? And I know Gibbs being on this, having an announcement for Gibbs isn't going to be some crazy oh my God, did you see what happened? It's like you're expecting it. But as we get through Gibbs and maybe one more obvious Saturn man or 2, then it gets into the weeds. It gets into the weeds. We start pulling the potential Tank Dells of 2024 that we found in 2023. JD5 was I threw a curveball in there that I firmly believe in the middle of the Saturn man drop because I wanted I wanted to do it before hype grew, but B, I wanted to do it to give everybody a little dose of some fresh, content versus just, hammering home Bijan's going to be the guy, hammering home that Breece Hall's going to be the guy. But we will have at least 2. How many Saturn men? We got 4 now.
The Saturn men.
Gibbs.
One small step for man, one giant.
We might run out of Saturn man spots for any kind of crazy predictions. We'll have to see. I might make it 8. We'll just kind of feel it out. But the Mars men will hold a lot more like home run, little bit of risk to it, you know. And then the Moon men will have even more of that threat to it, where there's risk. There's a lot of risk to a Moon man. A Moon man is not a lock by any means. And there are people that drafted all Moon men teams last year, and they had some huge downs and some huge ups, but you can't just fill your whole roster with a bunch of bold predictions. You got to diversify a little bit. In fact, I make a team of like a quarter Moon men and then other stuff, then use the other quarter of the Moon men and some other stuff, and the other quarter like or third of it or whatever. Like don't be putting your whole team is a Moon man. Like a couple people DM me in the middle of the season. They're like, Smitty, Bijan, can't believe you. I have Gibbs. He's doing nothing. Gibbs is a waste of a 3rd round pick, Smitty. I took Breece Hall. Without Aaron Rodgers, he's toast. Thanks a lot, a-hole. I'm out of here. And I don't know if I forgot who said that and who said what. They probably came back. They're probably in the chat right now going, yes, Breece Hall. But, I mean, damn, man. You can't put your whole team. Now, you could draft all
the Saturn men.
One small step for man.
You know, those are safer guys. I wouldn't say all of them, but I mean, those are the safer guys. These are the core top 15 overall players, essentially. JD5's not. I threw him in because I wanted some spice. But like these are the guys we choose to be the guys. Yeah, we need a wide receiver, says Great Scott. You know, Lamb's definitely a good option. Lamb Chops is a show favorite, a guy that I believe we had higher ranked than any content creator out there, you know, when we first started the Moon Men list and he was on the Moon Men.
Get lambed.
So pretty proud of where CD Lamb's come, and that was really the first thing I think we ever really had was get lambed. I don't think I had any other animations or things at that point. I think this is our very first scene.
Get lambed.
So, like, that's old school. That's an old school graphic. That graphic is years old. Not 1 year, not 2 years. It's years old.
Like 3 years.
Get lambed. Get lamb chopped.
Get lambed.
Do it live. All right, rock out. I'll appreciate you, pal.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Later.
See you.
Bijan to the moon. Anybody want to call in and drop a Bijan prediction? I'm going to open the phone lines to Bijan predicting only. Do it live. Phone lines are open. Bijan. Bijan. Bijan.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Darling, don't make me hit that button. Drop a Bijan prediction up in here. Do it live. I hope to God we can hit this button a little more frequently in 2020. Actually, we haven't hit it yet. I mean, Arthur Smith, the moment Arthur Smith was fired, we should have hit this button.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
We haven't been able to hit that button in a long time, and it felt good. It felt really good. I'm not going to lie. Okay, Gibbs and Hall won people leagues, absolutely. Beta, no doubt about it. Braylon Allen, running back. He's good, bro. Braylon Allen, depending on where he lands, I like him a lot. He's a good talent. Ziggy, show me the front door.
Okay.
Let's see if Miss Smitty's home with the baked potatoes. Load of baked potatoes coming in hot. Ziggy, off. 810 caller, you're live. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Brogan from Michigan. How are you doing, man?
Brogan?
Brogan, Brogan, like Logan with a bro.
Okay, bro. That's your mom was thinking like years in advance. She's like, bro, Brogan from Michigan.
I
Damn,
love my name, man.
How'd she come?
My name.
How'd she come up with that? Like that's like light years ahead. Your
It's
mom.
an Irish. It has Irish origins. I'll say that.
Brogan?
Irish origins. So
Okay.
yeah.
Brogan,
Yeah.
hit me with the congrats. You're from Michigan. Of course, you're excited. You got a day.
Dude, we're on a high of our lives.
Bet you
man.
are.
We're on a high of our lives. So, all right, I'm going to drop you the Bijan Robinson prediction right here, right now. I think he's going to get at least 1,500 scrimmage yards this year.
1,500.
I'll say, yeah, 1,500 scrimmage yards.
But Brogan, I don't need to. I mean, he just had 1,500. He had 1,463 and 8 TDs. We're really not. You're going to give him like less than 40 yards more?
No, on top of this, you want to go bolder? I'll give you 2,100 scrimmage yards. 2,100.
Bro, you just
2,100.
you just jumped. Okay, 2,100. Thank you, Brogan.
Challenge me,
I don't
man.
want to pressure.
You want me to go bigger?
I don't want to pressure you into adding like 300, 400, 500, 600 more yards. But I'm just saying, like you're like, here's your bold prediction. He's gonna get 40 more yards. He's gonna he's a backup right now, Brogan. He's a backup. He's the third running back on the roster. He got you 1846. You think this man's gonna barely?
I mean, hey, that's where that's where
14
Belichick goes, man. That will be the prediction for me.
Okay.
If that's where Belichick goes.
All right. This man went from 1,500 yards to 2,100 just on a little bit of applied pressure. Okay. How many receptions is he getting, Brogan?
I'll say if I think what did he have this year? Just to kind of remind, just like a nice little reminder.
Yeah.
You
want me to give you this one too? 58 receptions, but he had 86 targets. So there could have been some better throws his way. So he had the potential to have.
I'll say just based off of that, I'll give you the 90 targets overall. I'll say with like 90 targets overall with 85 receptions.
80. Wow, 80. He's 85 of 90. Brogan, you're on fire. 85 receptions off 90.
Bold,
you guys dropping
five. Get up here and go bold. I'm going.
Who's
bold.
gonna be the signal caller in Atlanta, bro? Five drop balls or 5 overthrown passes. 90 targets, 85 of them caught. Okay, so 85 receptions. How many receiving yards is? Oh, you have that package in here.
Scrimmage.
How many total touchdowns,
Yeah,
Brogan? You want me to give you a reminder? He had 8.
Yeah, 8. Oh, dude, that's just criminal.
4 and 4.
Criminal. That's criminal. Dude, I don't know, man. This is kind of getting a little tricky here, but I think he'll.
You want to phone mom?
If that's the floor, I'll say I think I'd say 15 and above is a good number.
15
If
plus.
Everything improves.
All right.
Sky high, everything improves.
15 plus TDs. Okay, I like it. Think mom would agree. Think mom would have called this as well.
Yeah.
All right, Brogan, what else you got?
Not much for Bijan. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go off next year. I mean, I think the first month will be really, really hot and going on into that. I think Jahmyr Gibbs. My bold prediction is that overall, I think Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan are on equal levels of talent.
All right,
I'll say.
I like it, bro. I like it.
Yeah.
Anything else, Brogan?
No, I mean
Brogan's Heroes. You've heard it all, right? Brogan's Heroes. How many times has that been said to you?
I did, my man. Like I've been called like so many nicknames, man. Like
what's the best
one?
What's the best
Broccoli.
one?
The one I heard that just makes me laugh to this day is Brokeback Mountain. That's the one that I just kind of keep reminding myself of. Just that that's a really funny nickname, Brokeback Mountain. Oh, that was my favorite one.
Brogan, you might have just leapfrogged Draven. Yeah, you might be the new Draven. I don't know if you're trying out for Draven's role. Draven's been missing. We don't know where Draven is, and you might have just earned Draven's role.
Hey, look, I'm hoping that's just that's a good thing, you know, because I don't want to be like a hot take Harley here or something like that, where I come on here and make really bad predictions or something like that, you know.
All right. Hey, Brogan, call anytime. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. You have a good time, all right?
All right. Congrats on your win, Michigan. Later, bro. Later, bro.
Hell yeah.
Again.
See you later, man. See ya.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Hey, first of all, Hob G dropped 20 gifted memberships. Hob G.
To the moon.
Hob G, you're the man. Appreciate you. DeBalt dropping a 20 watt on screen. DeBalt says, off-season appreciation for Smitty. Thank you, DeBalt. Appreciate you with the $20 holler, bro.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Oh, goodness gracious, man. I asked the guy to come up with the best name. What's the best one? What's your best nickname? That's Draven. That's Draven 2.0, to be honest with you. That is Draven 2.0. That might be Draven's brother. Hey, Brogan, you call in anytime, bro. I don't want you to think we're laughing at you. We're laughing with you, pal. You're on a whole new stratosphere. Denny,
I'm laughing at you. I don't even know what you said, but I'm laughing at you.
Where have you been, Denny? Where have you been? You almost got replaced.
Is he a hot ticket?
It seems like a hot ticket here. The chat loves him already. He's the new Draven.
I'm not jealous. There's a dude. Was he from Boston or something?
Michigan. He's celebrating the Michigan victory.
Oh man. I'm on Ross St. Brown, huh? Oh man.
Yeah, Amon Ra. Fantastic player. Unbelievable guy. Pissed off man that anybody got drafted ahead of him. This man memorizes every single player that was drafted ahead of him, and he shows it every time he catches the football. Amon Ra, hard to kind of know where to rank him next year. Is he like wide receiver 3? Is he wide receiver 4? I mean, chat, drop a Amon and a number for wide receiver ranking Amon Ra next year. Put Amon Ra 3, Amon Ra 4. What is he? Wide receiver what?
Ooh, I like that kid. So who's my replacement, man? Everybody loves this dude. He's from Michigan.
Yeah, Brogan.
Brogan with a B?
Yeah, like bro, like Brogan instead of Rogan, it's Brogan. Instead of Logan, it's Brogan. And yeah, he's giving you a run for your money, but I think everybody loves Denny. I don't think you're getting replaced. Amon Ra 3. We got Hayden saying Amon Ra 3. Denny, where do you have Amon Ra? What's he rank him? Top what next year?
3, at least 3, at least 3. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
I like it. It's bold. It's still bold. That's still bold in my opinion. I don't think 3 is anything to laugh over. That's nothing to balk over. Because you're like, who you bumping out? Like you're bumping out some serious ballers. So you put your balls on the line when you say 3. Show says 5. Hop G says 3. Superfish says 4. Let's see here. This Eurus says 5. Birdman says 5. Tony says 3. Tech says 4.
Under 5 is tight.
Yeah. Jaime says Denny's the GOAT. Travis puts him 4.
That's a 1 for Denny.
Yeah. All right, Denny, what else you got, bro?
I'm thinking about, because you know where I'm from. You know what I mean? We gotta talk. Can we talk real quick about the Belichick and the Vrabel thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it seems they fired Vrabel. All right. And then they had this night where they had, Vrabel was up in the box with Kraft, and they're having a good old time. And, is Vrabel and Kraft doing something? Do you think that?
I don't know what you're asking fully, Denny, but I would say that, let me just back up and say, do I think Vrabel's going to New England? Is that what you're asking me? I don't know. There are some people that I think are speculating and hoping for that. I think Patriots fans would like that. Vrabel's a good coach, man. He's probably, I wouldn't say he's the best option here. I mean, Harbaugh would be a great option, but there's some pros and cons to Harbaugh. You know, he's coming over from college. You know, sometimes that's tough. To translate, especially like in a different time and everything. And Munkin's a great option. Raheem Morris is good. Ben Johnson, Detroit.
Now you're going over my head. Who's Munkin?
He's an offensive coordinator in Baltimore. He's doing great things with Lamar right now. Lamar's been fantastic. So Munkin definitely deserves. He deployed a new offense there too. Like, to do what he did in 1 year is phenomenal, especially with his quarterback kind of missing for a big part of the offseason too. So Munkin's done a phenomenal job in Baltimore. Ben Johnson in Detroit. You've got Belichick potentially, out there as a QB. We've got the Chargers, the Falcons, the Commanders, the Carolina Panthers, the Tennessee Titans, the New England Patriots with a question mark.
I'm sorry, Smitty. So Commanders just fired Rivera, so maybe that's where. What's the sit down?
Garrett, call in again. I'm sorry, bro. Garrett, calling again. I'm sorry. Garrett and Theo, call back. I didn't mean to leave you guys on hold so long. Garrett and Theo, I'd be glad to take your call. And Ben Johnson to Chicago, says Rob. I mean, maybe. You never know, bro. I'm sorry. What, Denny?
So, where's the sit down? And there's no trades anymore with coaches. It's fire me.
I mean, Vrabel could have probably been traded, but they didn't want to wait. Apparently, the word was like they wanted to go on their quarterback hunt immediately, and didn't want to miss out on this quarterback pool. And so instead of trying to trade him or something, but a coach could get traded. It's weird, It happens once in a while, Certainly could have happened. The whole Sean Payton.
When you trade when you trade AJ Brown, and then you try to just have an offense around your running back.
But that wasn't Vrabel, really. That wasn't Vrabel. So that's I would not try in any way, shape, or form point fingers at Vrabel there. Vrabel's been dealt a bad hand. And I think that he was a great coach. And I think if he goes to Atlanta, that's fantastic. If he goes to the Chargers, that's fantastic. I don't know if you kind of maybe put together, anybody watching right now, that the teams on this side of the fence are probably the better options than on this side. No offense, Denny, but New England's over here. Raiders, New England, Tennessee, Carolina. These are not great landing spots for a coach, I think, in my opinion. Doesn't mean they can't turn it around. That's the whole point of getting a good coach. You were hoping that they, in 2 years' time, could do something. Washington's kind of shaky, but they've got talent there. They've got wide receivers. There's a thinking that the right guy could come in and then bring pieces in immediately, and then all of a sudden you got a team. Atlanta's got so much talent. That's the second best spot. The Chargers are the cream of the crop, the creme brulee.
Atlanta just fired Arthur Smith, right?
Yeah, they did. We did a whole celebration on that one. Arthur Smith gone. Unbelievable.
To the moon.
Yeah, because your boy wasn't getting work right.
Hey, let's see if Ziggy's updated. Ziggy, who's the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons?
The Atlanta Falcons head coach is Arthur Smith.
It's not Ziggy. Ziggy, Arthur Smith was fired.
Here you go.
Smitty, you're putting too much pressure on.
Ziggy off.
Ziggy's going to be there. He's not going to give you false information. No, but is Ziggy wrong?
Yes.
Because who's the new coach?
Denny, they just did it. They haven't. That's the whole point of this board right here. Is like who's going to be the Atlanta Falcons head coach? Who's going to be the Chargers head coach? Who's going to be the Washington Commanders head coach?
You don't care about the Patriots, do you? You're not a Pats fan like me. Listen,
it's not that I don't care about the Patriots. It's that, like, Denny, a fantasy football content creator or a fantasy football connoisseur like me is not excited about Ramondre Stevenson being misused and dissolving in front of our very eyes. Not excited about a coach that says we don't need wide receivers. We don't need wide receivers. Let's just bring in double tight ends. Let's try and recreate Gronk and Aaron Hernandez using Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry and pay them a bunch of money and let's forego wide receivers. Like, of course I'm not excited about the Patriots, Denny. It's a place where players go to fade away and never be seen again.
Yeah, that sounds like a Boston thing. I thought that was what we did in Arizona, but all I'm saying is, mate, is why are they sitting back? Okay. All right, top three. Thank God we lost to the you guys used to always care about the Pats, but thank God we lost that game to the Jets, because that gave us number 3, but if we won, we would have been 5. All right, so 1, Smitty, 1. I got that guy, Drake. I got him number 1.
Vrabel?
Who you take?
What are you talking about?
No, Smitty, if you had the number 1 pick, who would you pick in the draft?
If me, I'd take JD5. But I would probably trade down because you don't think you need to take him there. But he's the best. He's my favorite quarterback in this entire draft class. Jaden Daniels is JD5. It's like AR5, JD5. So if New England, and I hope that New England, don't take offense to this, and you might want to put earmuffs on, but I don't want New England to take JD5. Don't take JD5. Don't do it, please. I'm asking you. Would it potentially turn your organization around? Maybe. Like if let's say worst case scenario, nightmare scenario, JD5 goes to New England. You know what? I become a New England fan for you, and we're rooting for the right coach.
We need the
right. Hey,
whatever number you have.
Okay, let's pretend this happens. We, the Patriots need the right coach. We need a wide receiver. Can we bring in T. Higgins or something just to give JD5 something to throw at? And then we start building around this kid with a new coach? Then I might be behind it. You got Ramondre Stevenson. There's some stuff here. I could do. If you gave me JD5 in the New England Patriots roster, I could turn it around. So it's not all gone. Not all done. It's not all done. It's just it's not where I want him to go.
All right. But I think there might be something that happens with JD5, and we get Higgins in. We make some moves. Because
this first time he heard JD5
number
was
3
tonight.
pick, we can make some moves, and then maybe I get a Smitty. What number do you want? I swear to God, what size are you? You're a double X, right?
No, I'm an XL.
You're an XL?
I'm an XL.
Which doesn't mean that me and Ron, maybe we can't take your jerseys because I lost a lot of weight though. It's not funny. No, it is funny. I swear to God, if we get this done, I will hold up a Smitty jersey. Smitty Patriots jersey, whatever number you want. XL. Capiche?
Capiche.
If we get this done.
Yeah. But, I don't know what we're getting done. You mean JD5 and a Vrabel? You mean the whole thing I just mapped out? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get it done. Right. I know you want me to be a Patriots fan. The good news for you is that I'm a fantasy football fan. I'm a player. I'm a fan of the players, and I do ride and die with the players. And so if JD5 does go to New England, I'll be disappointed. I'll probably have a pissed off live stream at first, but then I will probably come around and say, you know what? Rebuilding around him, it'll take more time. It sucks. but it'll take more time. But this could be the guy. This could be the guy that turns this franchise around and gets you back on track. I just hope he goes somewhere more prepared. I want him to go somewhere that's a little bit more built to be ready-made. Atlanta Falcons. But I will say,
because because we're not a franchise over here in New England. No, you're right. Yeah. So, what's a better franchise, place to go? Smitty,
I don't know.
So where do you want him to go?
Where do I want JD5 to go? I want him to go to the Falcons. I want him to maybe go to the Seattle Seahawks. I want him to go to potentially, the New Orleans Saints would be interesting. I'm a little scared of that situation because I feel like that team they're kind of disappointing, and I don't want them to go and collapse there. Minnesota would be unbelievable. If Kirk Cousins does go elsewhere, Minnesota gets JD5. If Kirk Cousins,
did you see Cousins with his shirt off when he came up there?
Cousins does.
I like it.
I believe Cousins is leaning strongly toward returning to Minnesota, and you did hear him say, "Money's not important; it's more about fit." And all that, but that doesn't necessarily mean Minnesota's his fit. It might mean that could be a dig, a subconscious dig, or not a subconscious, but like a behind the scenes dig at something he's not happy with, and he's letting them know, like, this is what I need, and you guys know what I need. So fit's important. But like, look, if I had to put a percentage on the odds of Cousins going back to Minnesota, I'd say 65%. Just because he's coming back from an Achilles tear. A lot of teams are going to be cautious about that. He's willing to take a hometown discount. JJ's like lobbying for him to come back, and he gets to go back and throw to JJ and Addison and Hawkinson. That's a great situation for a quarterback. And as an offense, he's having tremendous success in. So, like, there's a lot of pros for him to go back to Minnesota, especially if money's not a problem. So I'd say 65, 70% chance, maybe even 70% chance that Minnesota's getting Kirk Cousins back. But you asked me, where would I love JD5 to go? Give me JD5 to JJ all day long. That would be my dream come true.
All right, Smitty, I'm going to ask you one more question, all right?
Yeah.
So, what team did Bijan play for?
He didn't play. Bijan. He didn't play for anybody last year because he rode the mother freaking bench, Denny. He rode the bench all season long. Like, we have on this board right here behind me. Okay. On this board right here behind me, Denny, there's a man named Aloha. You remember Aloha? Do you remember Aloha?
Kind of remember that prick. Was he down in Vegas?
Don't call him. He's not a prick. He was a kid. He's a nice kid. But Aloha put on this board. Hey,
I mean that dude. I really don't mean.
Yeah, Aloha put on this board that Bijan would be a backup running back in 2023, and he was. I don't even know how, somehow I don't know how Bijan racked up 14, 63, and 8 TDs in that situation. To be honest with you, that's a phenomenal line at the end of the day when you think about all that he went through. 14,
how they used him.
It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it.
He was, I would definitely fire that coach too. Is what I'm trying to.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was your question, or what were you trying to ask me?
Oh, man, you threw me off.
You said you have one question for you, Bijan Robinson.
What team did he play for?
The Falcons. You mean like in college?
No, NFL.
The Falcons.
Okay.
Denny, how do you not know this? Do you watch? Football?
And then what team did Drake London play for?
Okay, I see you're getting that. You're trying to play a funny. Falcons.
I'm not trying to play it funny.
How do you not know? How do you not know these two both play for the Falcons?
Yeah. Is there one else? Like, why were they not used? Is what I.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know you probably.
I know why. Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith's a moron.
So he's gone.
He's gone.
And
He's gone. He's gone. He's disapproved.
Whoever takes over, he's gone. I love that tune. You ever heard that song by that breakup song by Hall & Oates?
Yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah, sing it
I
to us.
better learn how to face it. She's gone. She's gone. I better learn to Bijan. But never use Bijan. The mustard. Never used London, right?
Hey, can we get
another one?
Can we get a Timmy T? Can we get a Timmy T? Denny, we need a one more try. Didn't know how much. We need a Timmy T narration about Bijan Robinson. Okay? Everybody that's doubting Bijan, I don't want to go down that road again. He screwed me this year. Give him a Timmy T iteration of a one more try for Bijan. Go. One more try, Bijan. Go.
Oh. When I drafted Bijan Mustard, I thought Bijan had to try. Arthur Smith would never play him. Give him one more try. Give Bijan one more try. One more try. And he also left Pitts in the dirt. Pitts, give Pitts one more try because Pitts was the greatest tight end coming through the draft. And he also put him on the back burner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling what you're throwing down, Denny. This is classic. All right, hey Denny, anything else before I let you go, bro? The chat said, look, Brogan, the guy that called before you, they loved him. And Brogan, if you're watching, I know you might have felt like we're laughing. We weren't laughing at you. We're laughing totally with you. Brogan has become the new Draven. But Denny, I think you just won the chat over. Like they're not even hesitating. Denny for president. Denny's their guy. Those guys don't hold a candle.
I started on the graveyard shift with you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just don't know where you. I don't know where you went for a month and a half though. We hadn't heard from you in a month and a half. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, but I always come back around, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who was the first one out in Vegas? It was Denny. Denny Dimes.
Denny.
Dimes was
First person to show up, first person to vanish. But then you reemerge.
Hey, give me that. Hey, love you, Smitty, man. I think you're the best. If I was ever going to draft a quarterback, you'd be mine. Like, I mean high school. You know what I mean?
High school,
I bet you
right?
could zip it.
All right. Thank you, Denny. Appreciate you.
All right. Love you.
Later, Denny. Appreciate you. Let me hit your outro on the way out the door. We got it here somewhere. You know, how do you feel about the fact that you got an outro? Does that make you feel special?
I don't even know what that is.
Right here.
What is it?
Right here.
He's Denny.
Oh.
He's Denny.
I don't think people know how much we're really friends at the end of the day. Like with karate in the garage.
Yeah. All right, Denny. I appreciate you later.
I appreciate you too. Later.
One more try by Timmy T. I mean by Denny. Yeah, so 2024 projections for Bijan, 1352 rushing. Basically almost what he had total yards we're expecting on the ground in 2024. 5.2 a pop, 12 rushing touchdowns, 75 receptions, 650 receiving, and 5 to 6 touchdowns. That'll put him at 202 total yards, or 2,002. Right at 2,000 yards. Ziggy, who's the leading rusher in the NFL? Ziggy.
McCaffrey is the leading rusher in the NFL in the 2023 season with 1,459 rushing yards and 14 rushing touchdowns.
Ziggy off. 1,004. So, you know, he's going to be in the mix. I think 1,400, 1,500 yards is pretty much the staple. I think to win the rushing title, that's what you got to expect to have. This guy could win the rushing title. You get at 1,450 easily. All right, let's do 2 more phone calls. We'll be going live on the Dynasty channel tonight. Don't forget Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Don't forget to hit the link. I'm going to put this link in the live chat right now. This link is where you want to sign up, and that way you can play Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty with me. We're to be probably doing a draft. We could do a draft right now. You guys want to do a draft right now? Hit that link. Promo code Smitty. Do it live. Let's see here. Let's plug in. Promo code Smitty. Hit it. Do it live. Appreciate you all. All right, we'll plug in. Promo code Smitty. Links in the description of the video. Link has been pinned in the live chat right this very second. Code Smitty also gets it done. And we're going to jump right into a draft right now. DeBalt, appreciate you. DeBalt calling in here. And real quickly, DeBalt, before you talk, hold on 1 second. Actually, I don't want to do that one. Don't want to do the hockey. Okay, I'm going to scroll over to... Let's see here. I want to go to the Little Mitten. This is a playoff draft. Battle Royale wildcard. Okay, so Mitten 2. Oh, wow. The big Mitten 2. 500. Woo! I got to do one of those. The Little Mitten's $3. The Mitten 4 is $5. Let's do a Little Mitten 5 just for fun. These are $3 entries. I'm going to click it. I want you guys to click the green button right now. And I'm going to wait about 10 seconds because of the YouTube delay on the Little Mitten 5. $3 entries. Hit that green button now. Do it live. And I'm going to jump in right now. We're all going to get in together. We're going to do a Little Mitten 5. All right. We're drafting here shortly. If you missed out on getting in the draft that I'm in, it doesn't matter. Do the draft alongside of it, and we'll have a good time. You know, you'll be able to see what we've done in our draft. You can deploy it, same strategy in your draft, or use it to your advantage. Do it live. Appreciate you. Ty Lee, this isn't the appropriate place for that. Okay. What's up, DeBalt? What can I do for you, pal?
Just here for the Bijan predictions.
Yeah, what do you got? Hit me with the Bijan prediction, bro. Give me the projection.
I believe Bijan can do just as good as Breece Hall, as long as, depending on what coach comes in, if there's a decent quarterback. I truly believe he can be just as good as Breece Hall this year. So
give me yardage. Yeah.
Okay. 1,900 on the ground.
1,900 on the ground?
On the ground.
Woo!
Uh-huh.
Woo! I don't hate it. Can you imagine?
I believe he can do it.
Can you imagine?
I believe he can. I mean, he's got everything. He's everything. He can do everything.
Okay.
Of that.
So 1,900 on the ground. How many receiving? Oh, I just timed out. That's okay. I timed out on Christian McCaffrey. There could be worse players to time out the 1.1. Yeah, give me a rushing touchdown total. So 1,900 rushing. That's crazy bold. I like it. How many rushing touchdowns?
Yeah.
Rushing.
17 on the ground.
Gee, this guy's gonna have the best season in fantasy football history if DeBalt's right. Okay, how many receiving yards and how many receptions?
See, I think he's gonna take a little step back on that. I think they're gonna use him more on the ground. So okay. I'm gonna go with about 600 okay. receptions.
So 2,500 total yards. Okay, how many receiving touchdowns?
And 5.
So 5 receiving. Dial back on the receiving yards, but dialed up on the receiving touchdowns. So you had 17.
Yeah.
So you have 22 total touchdowns, 2,500 yards, and how many receptions was it?
Receptions, I'm not too sure about how much he's going to take in.
Okay, that's good. That's a good season.
I don't think it's going to be high. I think he's going to get a lot more goal line work.
I don't think he needs any receptions if he has 2,500 total yards. He could have 10. No, but he had.
Hey, he took one for like 70 yards.
Yeah, bro, he had, just so you know, he had 86 targets and pulled in 58 of them. So, you know, I don't see how he doesn't have at least 58 receptions again this coming season. But, hey, man, you know, he's going to be busy running the ball, and it's going to be, we're going to be very proud of him and very excited for this coach. Whoever it is, this coach better, I just unplugged everything. This coach better do the right thing. This coach better do the right thing, better use Bijan, and I'm going to be livid, and the whole world's never going to forgive this situation if they bring in a coach that doesn't want to use him. It's going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Think if Kirk Cousins has a change of heart and goes to Falcons.
Yeah. Guys, these mittens, for anybody that doesn't know, these mittens, you're drafting essentially a team that you got to win wild card weekend. But you also got to advance and everything, so you got to pick just the right team. I'm going to go with Brock Purdy here, and I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. I'm a big proponent of this, and we'll see if it works out. We'll see how high I place with these mitten drafts this way. But it's a 1 QB, but given Brock Purdy's on a bye, I've got to win wild card weekend. And I'm also have the opportunity of both these guys the entire way, even into the Super Bowl, potentially facing each other, potentially. And I get this rotational quarterback scoring, so like there's an opportunity to outscore everybody at the QB position. So I don't mind this approach. It does put you in a little bit of a vulnerable place of not getting that extra running back or wide receiver while everybody else is. But I really, really like this approach. It's one that I actually deploy a lot. Hey, DeBall, anything else you want to talk about real quickly before I let you jump?
No, man. I believe Bijan's going to have a great year. Whatever we think Bish Priest is going to do, kind of draft Bijan that way.
To the moon.
That's just my opinion.
To Saturn.
To Saturn.
Yeah, to Saturn.
Yes,
Bijan to Saturn. You're not going to be mad at me if Gibbs is maybe next.
Not at all, man. I mean, that's good. I mean, you're already saying.
Just want to make sure.
My dynasty team.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page. All right, DeBalt, appreciate you. To the moon, DeBalt. You're the man, the myth, the legend. We'll see you later, pal.
See you, Cindy.
Thanks for all your support. You're the man. Travis Rowe. Travis, I just missed your call somehow. Call in again, Travis. Hob G, what's up, my guy?
Yo, what up? What's the deal?
What's up, bro?
I'll say 2,000 total, 14 on the ground, 600 in the air, about 18 total touchdowns.
Okay, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I think it's a doable thing. I'm on the clock in this draft, man. Kelsey just went. Not that I love Kelsey, but I wouldn't have minded Kelsey as my fourth player to pair with Mahomes.
Motion detected at the front door.
So I'm probably going to go with time is running out. I'm going to go with Pacheco. So now I've got McCaffrey, Pacheco, Brock, and Mahomes. I need a wide receiver real quickly. I could go with Rashee Rice. Kind of keep that theme going. I guess I will. All right, there we go. What else you got, bro? So that's a good projection. What's the touchdown total you said? How many touchdowns?
18.
How many?
18.
18. Okay, yeah, that's a good season. I don't mind that at all. You know, I think what we landed on was this number right here, which I think I ended up moving up quite a bit. So we said 2,002 total yards, so 2,000 total yards, 1,352 rushing, 5.2 a carry, 12 touchdowns, 75 receptions, 650 receiving, and 5 to 6 scores. That's my number. That's my line for him.
Motion detected at the front door.
I think that's a safe line for Bijan. I don't think that's even that crazy at all. It's similar to what you kind of said, but Travis Rowe, hang right there, Habji. Travis Rowe, what's your projection for Bijan 2024?
Well, I said 14 touchdowns on the ground. I'd go like 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, say 600 in the air and I think I said 5 in the 2
Okay, so 2,000 total yards.
Pretty close to what you guys had.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close.
I mean, for him to get 1463 completely misused makes me feel like 2,000 total yards is like a cakewalk for him. You know, like just in week number 18 alone, he had 2 touchdowns and probably 100 total yards just left on the table. Like, that's one game. One game would have put him at 10 total touchdowns and at about like 1560 or something. You know, it's just crazy to me. That one game would have put him like, I don't even know what that would have moved him up running back wise, like ranking on the year. Just having a one final, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. At 100 receiving yards, 11 carries for 28 yards, horrible touches, horrible play calls, horrible thrown ball by Ritter that made it to where he didn't pull in that touchdown reception. It should have had another rushing touchdown. They kept giving to the carries to Cordero Patterson. Just upsetting, man. This is unbelievable. I'm gonna go Nico here.
Half point PPR, he was like 15 or 20 points behind Rashad White. So and Derrick Henry and.
What did he rank in the league? In the league you're looking at, right now, what running back did he finish as? Running back what?
9.
Isn't that crazy? Like, as much as we're pissed off at Bijan, you know how many messages I got yesterday where people are like, "Bro, Bijan definitely disappointed to a degree, but I still won my championship because of Bijan because I played through week 18 or whatever." A lot of people played at week 18 and I hate it, but the people that won, they all messaged me saying, Bijan helped me. Bijan won it. As much as we were pissed off about it all, having 100 receiving yards and a touchdown, it helped me win my championship. But like to finish as running back 9 as a backup, he's a backup.
This wasn't with week 18, obviously.
Yeah, he's a backup. He was a backup. That one report where he's the 3rd string running back, and we all laughed at it. It was the truth. I don't think he's the 3rd string, but I think he was definitely not the starter. Definitely did not feel like the starter. At the end of the day, we can admit, I know it's painful to admit it, but he did not start. Bijan was not a starter. That's why Aloha might win this big board prediction bet on the board here, because like that was laughable. Like that was we did a whole video on laughing at that. Laughed right in the face of everybody that said he was going to be a backup. And I don't think those people that said it were. It was like the guy that has the mullet and he never cuts it and it goes out of style, but he wears it all the way through that time frame, and then the mullet comes back into style and he just happens to have it. Like anybody that said Bijan was going to be a backup or a bust, they just happened to be right. I don't give him credit. I don't think it was something you could see. I think it was people pissed off they didn't own him and they were just throwing hate and shade on him. But damn, man.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, too, to see him and hopefully Breece Hall, with Aaron Rodgers and everything, because Breece Hall ended up with, 14-something total yards and 990-something rushing yards. And I'm looking at his game log, and he had games where he had 4 for 9, 12 for 18, 12 for 17, 10 for 23, 13 for 16, and he still ended up with that many yards, So between Bijan and Breece, it should be pretty fun next year.
Mm-hmm. Gibbs, Bijan, Breece,
Kyron.
Kyron.
The other thing I was going to say was the people that, a lot of A-Chain haters and all that, a lot of people don't realize he ended up with 800 yards roughly.
Oh, yeah. He had 10 touchdowns.
That
A-Chain had 10 touchdowns. You'll hear that. You'll hear that in my rant coming up in the next video or two. I'm just warning you. 10 touchdowns. He had 10 touchdowns. This garbage player that can't stay healthy. He's not going to be good. Blah blah blah. He had 10 touchdowns. All these
they kept saying, "Oh, his yards per carry won't hold up." He averaged almost 8 yards per carry on 103 rushes.
Ziggy.
Now, yeah, he's not going to get 8 yards
How
per carry, but
how many yards per carry did Devon Achane have? Ziggy, how many yards per carry did Devon Achane have? He's not going to know this one.
Devon H had 7.5 yards per carry.
Devin
Yeah.
H.
got
Devin.
it.
No, but that's not right. Devin H.
Oh.
Ziggy off. He's, you know,
He had part of it, right?
people want me to get rid of him, but like he's family. I can't really give him the boot. You know, he does well sometimes. Real quickly, my team, just so everybody can tell me what they think. I got Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes. So realistically, they could face off against each other. So I got a lot of production there. McCaffrey, Pacheco, Rashad White for some wild card action. Rashee Rice, Devonta Smith, Nico Collins, Sam Laporta. It's a pretty good squad, I think.
Nico's been really good. Like even better than people realize.
Yeah, I love Nico, man. So I'm almost on the clock here. Leonard Fournette just got drafted. This guy is drafting here, and I'm going to take CJ Stroud here. So not only do I definitely could have used maybe another running back or wide receiver, and I didn't necessarily need a quarterback, but I mean, just to have that potential, like if Mahomes goes out there and craps the bed, and at least Stroud's there to pick up the pieces and deliver. And then Purdy, I got all three of them. I think it's a good squad. I like the squad a lot. McCaffrey, Pacheco, Rashad White, Rashee Rice, Devonta Smith, Nico, Laporta. I know he's hurt, but Purdy, Mahomes, Stroud. I like it. It's a good squad. All right, boys, I'm out of here. Hob G, you got anything else before I end the phone line and jump out of here? I'm going to be going live on the Dynasty channel tonight for anybody that wants to go talk about Bijan on the Dynasty channel. We'll be over there doing it live on the Dynasty channel. DeBalt, thank you again for your $20 hauler on this one. DeBalt, you're the man. Hob G, anything else, bro?
No, just I left you a message on IG, so when you get a chance, just check that out.
On IG? Okay, I'll try and give it a look.
Yeah.
All right, Hob G to the moon, bro.
All right.
Later, pal.
All right, man. Peace, yo.
Travis, anything else?
I'll probably see you over in the Dynasty channel later.
All right, yeah, tonight, Dynasty Bijan show dropping. Let me go over here. The Dynasty channel, thanks you guys for drafting with me. Don't forget Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. That link is pinned in the live chat. If you want to get in the next draft, click the link now. Just get the sign up part over with. It's a $10 minimum. They'll double your first deposit up to $100 just by using code Smitty or the link that's in the live chat pinned or the link in the description. And Dynasty channel is youtube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. The link's in the description of the video, and the links also, if you go to my YouTube homepage and just scroll to the bottom, you'll see all my channels there. So click the Dynasty channel. Yeah, we'll go over there, Travis. We'll talk about Bijan from a Dynasty perspective, have a little fun there. Kick it around. I'll see you tonight on the Dynasty channel. Call in if you can.
All right,
later. See you all later. Oh, we got Skyward with a super. Have Rice as my round 17 keeper next season. He's free. That's great, man. Rice is definitely, I mean, I don't know what they do. They draft a wide receiver. Do they bring in a T. Higgins or something like that? Certainly possible, but if not, and even if they do, I like him a lot. But if not, I mean, he feels like the wide receiver one there, the future wide receiver one in KC. I mean, but anything could happen. But right now, it's great value. So nice job. Way to be astute. Way to have that on lock, bro. Nice work, Skyward. Appreciate you. Okay, everybody. The Saturn men. I give it to you one more time, and then we're out of here. And I'll see you tonight on the Dynasty channel. Go. Click that. Actually, let me just drop the Dynasty link in the live chat right now, and I'll pin that real quick so everybody can get to that channel on the way out the door. There it is. Let me see if I can pin it. Replace pin. There it is. Okay, I pinned it. I'll see you all tonight. Please subscribe to the Dynasty channel. Please be ready for the Dynasty channel. We'll be talking Bijan on the Dynasty channel. I'll see you all later tonight. Appreciate you all. I give you Saturn Man number 4.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman. Spaceman.
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's what this show was. Live whenever news breaks. live during graveyard shifts, and we'll be going live on the Dynasty channel tonight. So hit that link that's pinned in the live chat. Do not miss the Dynasty channel. Do not miss that puppy growing. We're going to grow it together. We're going to make that channel monstrous. Deuces. Hit that thumb up button on your way out the door. Only 92 thumbs up. Punch that thumb up button if you could. Thank you. Appreciate you all.
Your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
He's Kyron, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.